Welcome to Beco'Ach. This is a 6-week master series in which you will learn the power behind this prayer. You will learn the history and the science behind this prayer. You will learn how this prayer works for you, within you, how this prayer connects you to the unity consciousness. You will also learn how this prayer protects you, unlocks the light codes within you, help connect you to a higher consciousness, the light consciousness, which is known as the Christ consciousness. This prayer would allow us to connect deeply on a spiritual level and allow us to go back to our original state. With that, I would like to say the clearing prayer, in which this prayer will take you back to your original state. I would like everyone to humble their spirits and take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in the breath of life. Breathe out. Breathe in the breath of life, which is Chai. Breathe out. With this, receive these words in the ancient tongue. Machsheva, habetula, hatehora, harishona. Lifnei ze, ha-emet. Yud he vav he. Yud he vav he. Yud he vav he. This mantra, this prayer, is a clan prayer. You can use this prayer at any point before going into meditation, before getting your day started. If you just feel discord, out of whack, out of alignment, you can always say this prayer, this mantra. It will take you back to your original state. It will clear your energetic field, and it will allow you to center. So with that, let's get into the Beco'Ach. The history of the Beco'Ach. The Beco'Ach, the 42-letter name of God. It originated in the Middle Ages and is associated with the Kabbalistic culture, which is ancient Hebrew culture. The term Hebrew was used to connect all 12 tribes of Judah, the tribes of the children of Israel, and the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Another meaning or term for Hebrew is one who crossed over to a higher consciousness. What is Kabbalah? Kabbalah is the priceless heritage of Israel. It sets in esoteric teachings meant to explain the relationship between the unchanging essence and eternal God, the mysterious Ein Sof, the connection between humanity and the all source. When we speak of the Hebrew consciousness, one who crossed over to a higher consciousness, one of the main examples that we had was Abraham. Abraham was visited by the angels. He was told to go within, to go to that uncomfortable place, to go and connect to source. Leave all that you know. Leave your comfort zone. Leave your mundane day-to-day life. He was told to connect and cross over. And because Abraham was obedient to source and the guidings of the angels, he was rewarded, one, with higher consciousness, higher inequalities, and also the abundance will cause and led him to be the father of many nations. The Kabbalah has always been essentially an oral tradition. It appeared in the 12th and following centuries. Why do we say following centuries? Because we still use this ancient text, ancient prayers. We still use these ancient teachings to assist us today in our spirituality, in our day-to-day lifestyles, using the Bibles, the qualities, the understandings. It was known by scholars that there will come a time when we will lose our spirituality, our connection to source. In ancient times, we always needed a priest, a prophet, a king, a conduit to connect us to the light of God. After Yeshua sacrificed himself, what was Yeshua's sacrifice? Yeshua's sacrifice was, one, he disconnected himself from the eternal God forever, for all eternity, so that we, humanity, can receive the light of God within us. Why did he do that? He gave us, humanity, the choice to be, to choose, to connect, and to be part of God's everlasting eternal life source. Now, by his sacrifice, by connecting to his sacrifice, you become in a higher consciousness. To connect to his light, you become a higher version of yourself. But you have to find that light of God within you. You have to work. You have to sacrifice. What is the sacrifice? Our lower selves. So he sacrificed this so we no longer will have the light of God external of us. For example, Moses saw the light of God on Mount Sinai as a burning bush. That was the light of God, representation of the light of God external of us. But here, now, after Yeshua's sacrifice, the light of God is within us. We don't need a connector to connect us to source or to God anymore. We need to go within, look, be intentional to connect to source, be led by our angels, be led by our ancestors. But the ultimate sacrifice is you willing to connect with source. This was called the Christ consciousness. So we receive the gift of Beco'Ach, an ancient tool, a secret code that connects us to the frequency of the light of God, the channel of energy flow and overcoming all obstacles. This prayer is said to be the most powerful of all prayers. When we speak the prayer, the words of the Beco'Ach, we enrich our lives with pure spiritual light. In addition, positive energy gives one the strength to overpower negativity. We're not here to just ride the wave, connect to the spirit, the consciousness, the light consciousness, and then it's a one and done thing. No, it is a journey. This light consciousness, this connection to source give you the strength, the higher inequalities to overcome negativity. Take yourself from negativity. Be a conduit of pure light and unconditional love. This prayer is for anyone who desire to witness the true works of the divine, i.e. God. According to the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, this prayer connects you to the undiluted force of creation. For centuries, the power of this prayer has been hidden from the public. Now, this magnificent blessing is available to us, to the lay public, for the first time in more than 2,800 years. The Beco'Ach is divided into 7 verses. The first letter of each word is significant, each verse. Together, they build a combination of 7 sequences. What is a sequence? A sequence is the first letter of a word in a sentence. each with 6 letters, for a total of 42 letters. This is the composition of the Ana Beco'Ach. This prayer was written according to the 72 names of God, which are coded within the Torah, i.e. the Bible. Each line can be seen as a DNA sequence that represents 7 different types of energy, structure of the spirit for those who have taken it. The combination of the Ana Beco'Ach is hidden in the first 42 letters in the book of Genesis, from the word Breshit, which means beginning, to Vavohu, which is chaos. The letters were translated using the Kabbalistic calculator. It is the high scholars who had connected to that light consciousness, that higher consciousness, working with the Kabbalah, that had the techniques to decode this, break this seal. The significance of the number 7. Why is the number 7 called the number of God? Why called the number of God? The number 7 is a holy number that often represents completion or divine fulfillment. When we read through the Old and the New Testament, we can see God using numbers to bring about his kingdom. Let's not forget, one of the first things you begin to see is the sequences of numbers when your angel guides, your ancestors, are trying to get your attention. The 7 sentences correspond to the 7 days of creation, 7 days of the week, which you will learn in Hebrew as well, learning the Ana Beco'Ach, 7 specific angels that you call each day while reciting this prayer, 7 heavenly bodies. Why do they say 7 heavenly bodies? Because in ancient times, the Dogon and the Mayans at the time had the ability to see the planetary alignment with the naked eye. Thus, due to modern technology today, we are able to see more in our solar system, which we work with the 12. The sun, the moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury, and Saturn. The representation of the coded letters that I will teach you are the 7 pillars out the 10 Sefirot of the Tree of Life, which are the foundation of the Ana Beco'Ach. Each day that you pray and you recite the line of the Ana Beco'Ach, or you meditate on the sequence of Ana Beco'Ach, you will be activating an energy from the Tree of Life. We use the energies of the 7 letters while reciting this prayer. Here are the 7 spheres, Sefirot, that we are working through this energy of the Tree of Life. Chesed, which is grace. Gvura, which is courage. Tiferet, which is glory and beauty. Netzach is eternity. Hod is majesty. Yesod is essence. Malchut is kingship. What is the Sefirot? The Sefirot are the 10 globes of luminous splendor, energy, y'all, arranged in 3 vertical columns and connected by 22 Hebrew letters or paths. Each one is assigned a number, 1 through 10. The columns are said to represent wisdom, strength, and beauty, which from the triune support of the universe, 3 in 1, is reference to the Trinity. It is written that the foundation of all things is the Tree of Life. Here are a picture of the Tree of Life. This is a powerful sequence. It reads from right to left. It is a powerful energy. I must truly express the importance until you master and understand the power of the Tree of Life. Please be very careful. The Tree of Life can pose very potent energy. And as we go on in this master series, you will truly understand why. We cannot forget the polarity of our universe. There's a higher energy of light as well, a higher energy polar opposite of darkness. So when messing with the tree of life, you can tap into the tree of death if you are not in alignment and aware of the energies that you are pulling on. Remember, we are always have to be in a pure energy state to even deal with such high energy. The tree of life. What is the tree of life? A symbol of personal growth, strength, and beauty. The tree of life represents our personal development, uniqueness, and individual beauty. As the branches of a tree strengthens and grows, so can we. Each week, we will go over those words in depth to strengthen and grow our inner beauties. Also, another representation of the Ana Beco'Ach is the 7-leaf menorah. It was said that King David meditated on this prayer for hours before entering any battle. The 7 lamps allude to the branches of human knowledge. The Kabbalists explain that the combination of the letters take us back to the time of creation, the original state. Again, everything is considered to the activation of our original state here. This prayer is the Genesis prayer, the beginning. And when you tap into this energy, you're not just tapping into the beginning, the genesis of the universe. You're tapping into your genesis, the genesis of you personally as a soul. Letters will turn to a pure energy state that built this world. This 42 letter name of God are associated with the 42 stages and process of our spiritual development. These are the secrets of the 42 places mentioned in the Torah, where the nation of Israel camped for 40 years in Sinai desert before entering the Holy Land. Now let's understand. Sinai is literally a physical place. They lived out there, they camped out there because they had to go through a season of purification. Purification to prepare them to be ready, pure, clean, in order to enter unto the Holy Land. When we speak of the Holy Land, we're not just speaking of the physical land. We're talking of that higher consciousness. We're talking into that frequency and alignment spiritually to be in that energy. You can't just go from a lower vibration and just shoot straight to the heaven and get to that higher consciousness without any sacrifice. The sacrifice have to be your lower self, your lower consciousness, your lower qualities. Things that we consider today, that is the darkness. The lower parts, the lower aspects of you, the ego. They had to go through that purification. It took 40 years. Entering the Holy Land. In fact, each column in the Torah scroll contains 42 lines. This 42 words have a total of 175 letters, corresponding to the 175 years of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam today. Learning the first sentence, the first line of the Ana Beco'Ach. Before we start the first line, let's start with the first day of the week, in which you will begin this first line. The first day of the week is called Yom Rishon. Yom Rishon is Sunday. We are meditating and praying with the energy from the sphere chesed, which is grace. This is the first line. Ana bekoach gdulat yemincha tatir tzrura. We beg of you, O Lord, with the strength of thy right arm, untangle our knotted faith. You are asking Spirit, Source, the Ein Sof, to come down, assist you with the might and strength of his right arm, which most of us know your right arm is your strongest arm. You asking him to come and help you untangle your knotted faith. Everything that you have caused, everything that you have created, manifested, that wasn't of your highest good, over these reincarnations, over the times that you have to continuously do it over and over again, because we knotted our own fates, because we just didn't get it. And that's okay. That is part of this journey. Part of this journey is to truly learn how to connect to the light of God, the higher versions of yourself. So we're asking him to come and forcefully redo this. Take me back, purify me, cleanse me, take me back to my original state. Put me back on the path of righteousness. Your sequence is Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Yud, Tav, Tzadik. A, B, G, Y, T, and a TH sound. This first sentence is a plea to God to forcefully free us from darkness. Ana means please. The first sentence is the seed of the tree and its fruits. In saying this first sentence, we take control of the seed, the DNA of the universe, and that brings in the light. This sentence defines the power of redemption and unconditional love. The first day is asking for help with grace. Grace from the Father. Grace. It's like you asking him to come down here. Help me undo my knotted faith. Help me undo what I did. Help lead me. Help teach me. Help guide me. Please do it with grace. Because, Lord, I know I made a mess of things. For oneself, family, and humanity at large, we can't forget that this is a unity conscious prayer. Grace is God's unconditional love, directly from source, the divine, the higher realms. When meditating on these letters, focus on removing the negative of the microcosm, the whole of the complex structure, the universe. Remember, you are tapping into the tree of life reality. The tree of life is encompassed in all this universe's energy. Remembering yesterday's lessons. Remember, we are here to remember who we are as a soul. What are we here to do? What is my purpose? How can I assist humanity? How? What am I here for? The benefits of this prayer. You sleep better. Concentration, sense of peace, connection to the Creator. It enhances protection, clears negative karma, improves inner strength and knowing. Your clairs. It assists you to tap into a higher system in which you start activating your senses. So you will be more aware. And it helps you to connect to your wealth. Because remember, if you transform your inner qualities to higher qualities, you connect to source, you connect to being led by the heavenly realm. You're no longer out here just being. You become a magnet to all that you need and even desire. We become a magnet. to the all. That's where the abundance come in at. It is highly advised to you to start practicing this prayer daily. Daily. Make this part of your daily practices, your daily rituals. It will help assist you daily. By joining this course, you have made a commitment to yourself, which makes you a part of Team TOR. TOR stands for Team of Remembrance. We are here to remember who we are, why are we here, and what are we here to do? What is my purpose? Each day we fill our lives with light as we work on our journeys. This is a walk, y'all. It's not a one and done. To becoming our true selves and walking in our true purpose. As a team member, it is prudent to understand that on this journey, we must strive for a life where the physical, the mental, and the emotional are integrated into spiritual. With that, I would like to say thank you, Toda, for making this commitment to yourself, being ready to take this journey to this level of higher consciousness. Laila Tov, which is good.